Attention passionate New York Giants fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on New York Giants' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true New York Giants fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and New York Giants fans. Let's get to the news, all right, folks. Let's sit down and talk about what might be one of the most seismic moves in recent Giants history, if it all comes together. Rumors, whispers, and some serious inside intel are pointing towards the Giants potentially making a blockbuster trade for none other than T.J. Watt from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. T.J. Watt. Isn't he a Steeler through and through? Well, yes, but things in the NFL are always fluid, and this particular rumor has gained serious traction, especially considering where both teams stand heading into the offseason. First, let's break down the situation. The Steelers, sitting at 6-8 and in a bit of a transition period after losing Aaron Rodgers, are exploring options to rebuild and shake things up. Rodgers, who's been a huge part of their offense this season, has put up some solid numbers. Around 200 yards, 19 touchdowns, but also 14 interceptions, according to Pro Football Reference as of December 2025. But the Steelers are now eyeing a future without Rodgers, and that means they're willing to make some tough decisions, including trading away key players. And T.J. Watt, at 31, is still one of the most disruptive pass rushers in the league, with a resume that speaks volumes. Last season, he racked up 9 sacks, 15 tackles for loss, and 5 forced fumbles, earning a PFF grade of 98, which puts him in the top 3 among edge rushers. He's a game wrecker, a true difference maker on the line. Now, from the Giants' perspective, this could be a game changer. They're sitting with a manageable cap space of around $35 million, and the need to bolster their pass rush is clear. They've been looking for that elite edge presence that can elevate their defense, especially given how much they've struggled to get consistent pressure on the quarterback this season. Watt, with his career totals of 112 sacks and 145 tackles for loss since 2017, is exactly that kind of player. He was the Defensive Player of the Year in 2021 and has been a constant threat in the league, averaging close to 1.9 pressures per game and allowing just 2.9 yards per run after contact. He missed 3 games in October 2025 due to a rib injury, but still managed to rack up 45 solo tackles and face double teams 32% of the time. Think about how that kind of talent would transform the Giants' front, especially with young players like Carter, who's already shown flashes with 4 sacks and a PFF grade of 82. For the Steelers, on the other hand, are facing cap constraints, about $7 million over the 2026 salary cap, and they're prioritizing youth on their pass rush, with Highsmith already providing 5 sacks. They're also evaluating their position in the AFC, especially with a defense that's ranked 19th and giving up roughly 24 points per game. Losing Watt would be a blow to their identity, a hit to their locker room's morale, and a blow to their ability to compete at the highest level. Watt, after all, is not just a sack artist. He's a leader, a player who elevates everyone around him. His departure could land the Steelers in a mid-tier status, fighting to stay relevant in a crowded AFC. But what does this mean for the Giants? Well, if the trade happens, it could be a defining moment for their defense, especially in a division where the Cowboys and Eagles are constantly adding talent and making moves. Watt's presence would elevate the entire front 7, turning the Giants into a formidable force similar to the dominant defenses of the past, like the 2019 Bears, who increased their pressure rate by 15%. With Watt, the Giants could project an additional 170 pressures over the season, boosting their tackles for loss from around 50 to a potential 70, which is comparable to what Micah Parsons did for the Cowboys in 2025, adding over a dozen sacks and creating chaos in the backfield. This move would also have ripple effects on the secondary, which has been giving up about 250 passing yards per game, far from ideal. More pressure on the quarterback means more hurried throws, more turnovers, and overall better chances for the Giants' secondary to make plays. Watt's ability to dominate gaps against the run and rush the passer would also help contain the division's top rushers like Saquon Barkley, who's been a force with over 900 rushing yards this season. Imagine Watt collapsing the pocket, forcing hurried throws, and disrupting the rhythm of offenses that rely heavily on their passing game. And let's talk about the big picture here. If this trade goes through, it's not just about plugging a hole. It's about shifting the entire dynamic of the Giants, defense, and potentially their entire season. Watt's playoff experience, including his 7 sacks in postseason play, could serve as a catalyst for the Giants' push into the playoffs. His presence could turn the tide in close games, giving the Giants a true edge in critical moments, just like the legendary linemen of the 1990s who helped bring the Giants to the Super Bowl. Now, some might wonder about the cost. The Steelers are reportedly asking for a second-round pick in 2026 and a conditional first-rounder, along with freeing up about $24 million in cap space, which they can then use to rebuild their offensive line. That's a hefty price, no doubt, but for a player of Watt's caliber, it might be worth it. The Giants would need to weigh the long-term benefits against the immediate cost, but if they get Watt, they're not just adding a player, they're making a statement. They're signaling that they're serious about contending, about taking that next step, and about building a defense that can dominate in the NFC. Some fans might be a bit skeptical. After all, trading for a star comes with risks, especially with cap implications and future draft assets. But look at what Watt can bring. Relentless pressure, leadership, game-changing plays, and a mentality that turns a good defense into a great one. It's the kind of move that could redefine the Giants' identity, reminiscent of how the franchise built around Lawrence Taylor in the 80s, or how the 2019 Bears transformed their defense into a feared unit. The Giants have been searching for that kind of spark, that disruptive force, and Watt might be the answer. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and this kind of move would need careful planning and execution. But if the Giants pull it off, it could be the kind of deal that propels them into Super Bowl contention sooner rather than later. The NFC is wide open, and with teams like the Eagles and Cowboys always lurking, the Giants need to do everything they can to catch up and surpass them. Adding Watt would give them a significant edge, especially in the trenches where games are often won and lost. So hold on tight, Giants fans. This could be the start of something special. A trade for T.J. Watt isn't just about acquiring a player. It's about setting a tone, making a statement, and building a defense that strikes fear into every opponent. It's about creating a legacy that could echo through the franchise's history, just like those great defenses of the past. Stay tuned, because if this move happens, it will be a game changer, and the entire NFC East will be feeling the ripple effects. We're on the brink of a new era, and the Giants might just be at the forefront of it. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest New York Giants news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, New York Giants fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential blockbuster trade? Do you think adding T.J. Watt would elevate the Giants to a new level? Can they afford the price and still build around him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Giants. This is the kind of move that could redefine the franchise's future, and we want to know what you think. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest New York Giants news. We're in this together, and the best is yet to come.